Detective Mehul receives information that an underworld criminal, known for his numerous crimes, is planning to escape from the country. The information they received indicated that the culprit would try to escape from the airport. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Detective Mehul and his team immediately make their way to the airport to nab the suspect before he disappears. Mehul rushes to the airport with his team, spread out to cover all escape routes for the criminal. Can you tell how Mehul will identify the culprit in this crowd? You can give your answer in the comment box. Let us tell you the answer. As detectives began their investigation, they soon discovered that the culprit was likely using a fake passport to avoid identification. This crucial piece of information added an extra layer of complexity to their mission. With limited time, Detective Mehul knew he had to act quickly and decisively to separate the real passport from the fake one. Through his careful observations and interviews with airport staff, Detective Mehul identified two men who matched the description of the perpetrator. They cautiously approached the suspects, assessed their behavior, and studied their passports. Can you tell which passport is fake by looking at this passport? Let's see the answer. The first suspect, identified as Mr. Rahul, produced his passport, which Detective Mehul scrutinized. While examining Mr. Rahul's passport, Detective Mehul noticed a glaring discrepancy. The passport was dated April 31st, which immediately raised suspicions. April only has 30 days, making April 31st impossible. Knowing that the passport was undoubtedly fake, Mehul became even more convinced that Mr. Rahul was the criminal he was after. Meanwhile, the second suspect, Mr. Kabir, panicked and handed over his passport for inspection. Detective Mehul scrutinized it, scrutinizing every detail. Mr. Kabir's passport appeared to be genuine, with no signs of tampering or irregularities. Information and dates are attached, indicating that it was a legitimate document. Based on the evidence presented, Detective Mehul concluded that Mr. Rahul was carrying a fake passport. A clear error on the passport dated April 31st was a clear indication of forgery. With this crucial piece of information in hand, the detectives were able to catch the culprit before he could get past the airport's security checkpoints. A luxurious mansion where a party turns into a tragic crime scene. Party host Ray was found dead under suspicious circumstances. When Mehul gets the information, he rushes to Ray's mansion. Mehul scrutinizes the crime scene, looking for any clues that might shed light on what happened that fateful night. The room was filled with a mixture of shock, grief, and fear as the partygoers struggled to make sense of the horrific event that had just unfolded. Among them were 4 people whom Mehul suspected of being involved in Ray's murder. Can you tell Ray's friends who is Ray's killer by looking at them? Let's see the answer. The first suspect was Robin, Ray's childhood friend and a notorious hothead known for his volatile temper. Robin was engaged in a heated argument with Ray earlier in the evening, attracting the attention of several party attendees. Mehul noted the altercation and considered it a possible motive for the crime. Another suspect was Ray's former business partner, Julia, who had recently ended their partnership on sour terms. There were rumors of financial disputes between them, raising suspicions about his possible involvement in Ray's murder. Mehul made a mental note to investigate their business affairs and delve into their personal dynamics. The third suspect was Ryan, a close friend of Ray's, with whom he shared a tumultuous relationship. Mehul discovers a torn piece of Ryan's shirt in Ray's hand, indicating a violent struggle between the two before the fatal outcome. This evidence hit Ryan hard and pointed to a possible motive for their unresolved conflict. The fourth suspect was April, Ray's ex-girlfriend, who resented him for their tumultuous breakup. Mehul knew that love and heartbreak often lead to acts of violence, making April a viable suspect in Ray's murder. He resolves to investigate her alibi and dig into their past to uncover any hidden animosity. Detective Mehul explains how a torn piece of Ryan's shirt, found in Ray's hand, indicates a violent confrontation between the two friends. The room fell silent as the truth unfolded. Ryan, overwhelmed by guilt, and overwhelmed by the overwhelming evidence against him, confesses to the murder of a close friend. The case has come to an end.
Sana used to go to the gym every day, but one day she had a very bad accident. When she was returning home from the gym, a speeding car came and hit her. A car stopped a little further and a man got out. So what do you think, this man will help Sana or leave for his destination? Let us see. So this man laughs at Sana instead of helping her. Sana gets very angry with this man. Sana calls Detective Mehul to catch him. Sana tells Mehul everything. Mehul arrives to help Sana and explains the incident in detail. Sana shows Mehul a picture of the car to catch it. Mehul sees the picture and goes out to catch it. Mehul sees the same car that Sana had shown in the picture near a coffee house nearby. Mehul rushes inside the coffee house to catch the man, asking the man about the accident. The man introduces himself as Robert, tells Mehul that the girl is lying because firstly I drive very slowly so as not to hurt anyone, and secondly I have been drinking cold coffee for the past hour. Drinking and waiting for my friend. I am not involved in this accident. Can you tell if Sana is lying or Robert is lying? Let us see who is the liar. The liar is Robert because he said that I have been drinking cold coffee for the past hour, so the ice inside it should have melted in an hour, but it had not yet, which proves that Robert is lying. After which Mehul captures Robert. A big electric car showroom opens in the city. Many people came to see the cars, started buying their favorite cars. Among them, Richard and Kevin also wanted to buy a car. A car Richard likes. He sits inside the car and starts to check it out when suddenly everything goes dark. Can you tell what happened in this darkness? Let us see what happened. Moments later, Richard's dead body was found in the same car. Then Kevin calls Detective Mehul and Mehul also reaches there and investigates the case. Then he identifies 3 people who are involved in the case and asks them about the case. Then his friend Kevin speaks. I was talking to Richard about getting a loan from the bank and buying a car. The manager says, I was showing the car to Richard and giving him the price. Then the mechanic says, I left after telling Richard about the petrol efficiency of the car. I don't know what happened after that. After hearing the statement of these 3, can you tell who killed Richard? Let us see who is the killer. Take a look at the mechanic's statement. He said that I was telling Richard about the petrol efficiency of the car, while this car runs on electric power and not on petrol. Then Mehul realizes that the killer is the mechanic and catches him.